I am actually reviewing the Jolintal 3-tier acrylic keyboard display stand, and I have to say this is my favorite stand, and there's a reason for that. Number one, we have the reverse hooks that you can see here, prevents your keyboard from slipping out. Also has very nice, very thick sides, and we also have these rods that are used to separate the two sides and hold them in place, and they have some really good support here with these. These are a very decent diameter, and it also includes these little rubber washers that we put on each side of the bolt here, so we don't have to worry about damaging the surface, and we can hand tighten things so that everything remains snug. If there is anything to concern yourself with, it's how do I get rid of this film. So you will notice that there is a film, there's a blue film on this side, and there is a clear film on this side. The blue is relatively easy to take off with your fingernail. You just have to find a place to start it, and once you start pulling that back, it comes off fairly quickly and easily. So you can see that it really does have a nice sheen to it. It has some really interesting colors, and it's just awesome. Now, the other side, this film, I have to tell you, is a little bit stickier, and the best way I have found to remove this film, take something sharp. In this case, I'm using the tips of my tweezers here, but you can use any other sharp edge because it is really difficult to get underneath this piece. But once you get it started, it will rip off quite cleanly, and it is easy to put together. But this really does have a rainbow effect, just as they describe in the description for this product, and I have to tell you, it is amazing. But the real trick here is use something to get that film off. So again, blue side, fairly easy to get under this with the nail. For whatever reason, it just doesn't seem to stick as much, and once you get it started, it peels back fairly quickly like this. But again, you want to use a sharp tip just to get underneath this, so you have something once it starts to pull up, and you've got something you can hold on to. And it comes off fairly easily. So we've done it twice, and you can see it works like a charm. So the rest is just a matter of the assembly, which is fairly straightforward. All we have to do is unscrew one of these, take off one of the washers. Okay, here we go. So we leave one of them on the end of the screw, the other one inserted on the other side like so, and all we have to do is just screw it in by hand, just like this. Do that 3 more times after this, and once we're finished doing all 4 of the screws that we have a gorgeous display stand. And again, I have to say, one of my favorites. This is the best that I have found, and you may be wondering if it's worth the actual price difference. There are cheaper versions of this available. What is the difference? Number one, you don't necessarily get those washers. Number two, the rods are a little bit thinner. Number three, the gauge or the thickness of these sidewalls here, these are just over 1/4 inch. It's about 5/16 of an inch, and the bottom line is that they are nice and heavy, and it's got a really nice rainbow coloring effect, and you can see that even as I hold that here, especially on this side. It is just absolutely gorgeous to look at. So if you do have a number of keyboards, and at least 2 or 3 or whatever the case may be, this makes for a great display stand, and you can see it works just fine. This is awesome. This is a great deal, and I highly recommend this. Great buy. Thank you for watching.